am Dr. Viju M.J., Assistant Professor and Research Supervisor, Research and PG Department of English, St. Thomas College, Autonomous, Thrissur, Kerala, affiliated to University of Calicut. As part of today's international web conference on Creation and Wellbeing in a New Changing World, on 28 and 29 June 2020, organized by Diwan Institute of Management Studies, College of Education, Meerut UP. I am presenting a paper on the impact of COVID-19 on education worldwide and especially in Indian conditions. At present, we can see whole world is in a turbulent period facing COVID-19 pandemic. UNESCO says in its document, Coronavirus Impacts Education, that while COVID-19 is primarily affecting public health, spillover effects can already be observed in education. According to its report, COVID-19 has impacted over 1 million students in more than 150 countries as they have closed schools due to outbreak of COVID-19. Let's see, how does closure of schools affect children all over the world? UNESCO says, firstly, disengagement of students with learning challenges. Secondly, they say, poor students from third world countries suffered a lot as they were not provided noon meals. Thirdly, closure of schools suddenly resulted in increasing large number of dropouts of secondary school children. The experts of UNESCO suggest a cyclical approach in education during emergencies: prepare, recover, and cope. UNESCO in its document mainly suggested 3 ways of impact, like firstly, enhancing preparedness while keeping schools open. Secondly, using distance learning to mitigate loss of learning. And thirdly, use of education resources to support the general response. Let's see how the worldwide countries reacted to this pandemic. We see in Afghanistan, the Ministries of Education and Health launched a hygiene good practices awareness campaign throughout schools via television and social media. Whereas in Finland, most schools are closed and remote learning and teaching is taking place with the support of educational technology. Coming to Russia, Moscow city moved to a free regime of school attendance. In Ethiopia, the Ministry of Education distributed communication materials for students and parents on how to reduce risk of exposure. How distance learning effectively used by various countries around the world. Many countries have turned to distance learning as a means of mitigating for lost time in continuing education. For example, in Spain, teachers were asked to prepare online content and offer online classes, whereas in China, they provided with robust connectivity to offer distance learning successfully. Countries like Vietnam and Mongolia are finding it difficult to reach all students equally, whereas African countries like Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa, Senegal, Botswana and Gambia could start with reasonable school connectivity and provided devices for kids to take home. In Singapore has started training for teachers on provision of classes online. COVID-19 impact on India, if we consider that, Richa Chowdhury in her article COVID-19 Pandemic Impact and Strategies for Education Sector in India, the article appeared in Economic Times, mentioned that the impacts of COVID-19 on education sector in India. She says this is a crucial time for the education sector. Board examinations, nursery school admissions, entrance test of various universities and competitive examinations. School and university closures will not only have a short-term impact on the continuity of learning for more than 285 million young learners in India. She further describes its impact on higher education sector in India as the pandemic has significantly disrupted the higher education sector as well, which is a critical time now. She had pointed out 10 strategies to mitigate the case and build the resilient Indian education system in the long term. Firstly, Immediate measures are essential to ensure continuity of learning in government schools and universities. Secondly, inclusive learning solutions can be provided for the most vulnerable and marginalized need to be developed. Thirdly, strategies are required to prepare higher education sector for the global mobility of students. Fourthly, it is also important to reconsider the current delivery and pedagogical methods in schools and higher education by seamlessly integrating classroom learning with e-learning modes, as ours is the largest in the world, more than 15 lakh schools and 50,000 higher education institutions. Fifthly, Indian traditional knowledge, well known across the globe for its scientific innovations, values and benefits to develop sustainable technologies and medicines. The courses on Indian traditional knowledge systems in the fields of yoga, Indian medicines, architecture, hydraulics, ethnobotany, metallurgy and agriculture should be integrated in the mainstream of university education. Finally, I suggest 10 ways to tackle COVID-19 issues proposed by World Bank. First, access the capabilities of students, teachers and infrastructure to adopt high technology and low technology. Second, explore various options for distance learning tools including online virtual lessons, MOOCs and Moodles, mobile phones and social media. Thirdly, radio and television programs useful in particular for younger students. Would like to point out the Victor's channel in Kerala and also central government new plan to TV program for each class up to 12th standard. Prioritize subjects and grades that are associated with exams that are perceived as high stakes by parents. Fifthly, train teachers how to instruct and engage all students through distance learning tools. Appreciate that distance learning is not interactive and work within that framework. Keep time and track of students' engagement, possibly through WhatsApp groups. Seventhly, blend appropriate approaches and limit the number of applications and platforms. 8. Emphasize tools that are compatible with smartphones as they might be more widely available. Create support communities among teachers and students to cross-reference questions and solutions. Lastly, ensure accessibility and availability of education services for students with disabilities. I would like to conclude, it's the time of crisis. A well-rounded and effective educational practice is what is needed for the capacity building of young minds. It will drive their employability, productivity, health and well-being in the decades to come and ensure overall progress of India and world. Thank you all.